Hey boys and girls, Mrs. Willard here coming to you from the art room. Today we are going to talk about an art vocabulary word, pattern. Okay, so I know you have heard that word. It is more than an art vocabulary word. You hear about patterns in reading and you hear about patterns in math, and there are patterns in art and design. Okay, pattern is one of the principles of design. Okay, and patterns, a pattern, just like in those other subjects, is a repetition. In art, it is the repetition of line, shape, color, texture, form. It is a repetition of the elements of art. Okay, and we've talked about the elements of art before. When you're in K2, we deal mostly with line, shape, and color, and then we start adding those other elements when we start doing more advanced artwork like you guys are doing. So, pattern. So when I say it's a repetition, we're going to look at some examples of artwork here. Art and artifacts, I should say. So, this is a Native American robe, ceremonial robe, and you can see it has a pattern. Okay? It is not just a plain solid color, it has a pattern. And in this case, it is a striped pattern. Stripes are a repetition of line. So if you have lines that repeat themselves, it is a repetition of line. You can have straight stripes, you can have wavy stripes, you could have zigzag stripes. These are straight. These have a little bit of shape in those. Those are like little toothy lines, but these are basically all lines, a repetition of lines. Okay, here is a piece of pottery that has been glazed, and it has a pattern in the design on the glaze. There is a check pattern. Okay, you can see the lines going both ways. That is a check or a plaid. Instead of them just going one direction, they go two directions and cross each other. And then over top of that is this circular pattern here. This is often called an orange peel. It has different names. It is popular in quilts and all different kinds of textiles and designs. Patterns, you see them all the time on clothing, quilts, on wallpaper, on gift wrap paper. There are patterns around us that are very intentional and planned. And then in nature, lots of things just form patterns that we see. This is actually a painting. It's a print, I should say. It's a color lithograph by the artist John Biggers. It is called Four Seasons. And you notice the patterns in here, the patterns of the rooftops. Okay, there are 4 women in a row. The patterns of the train tracks. So lots of repetition of shape and line and form in this one. And again, another one that really plays with pattern. Not only is there a pattern of the girls dancing, a repetition, but their clothing has different patterns inside the clothing, and this relies heavily on pattern. Pattern is both interesting and yet comforting, because with a pattern we can make our brains can make some predictions, but it's not boring like something that was just one solid color. So it ties very much into a video I did this spring called Unity and Variety. That is on my YouTube channel, and I will link that to here too. So the word for this lesson, this set of lessons that we need to keep in mind is pattern. Let's get back to that. Pattern. So we are going to be working on a lesson with pattern.